Hey there theme park fans, it's Gio here for Independent Guides. Disney's having an incredible year in 2022. There are a ton of new rides, there's a new cruise ship, there are new lands, there are new hotels coming this year. And in this video we're looking at all of that coming to the Disney parks around the world, as well as the latest construction progress on all of the projects. And in advance, a big thank you to BioReconstruct on Twitter and themeparks.com for collating many of the images that we used in this video. Let's start off with the big one, Walt Disney World Resort, which I'm sure you know is celebrating its 50th anniversary right now. So two major rides are currently under construction. We have TRON over in Magic Kingdom and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot. Starting with TRON, we no longer expect this ride to open in 2022. Initially we thought it would actually open last year, then this year, but now it's looking like it's going to be pushed into an early 2023 opening instead. Now Disney has not confirmed this yet, but there are a couple of reasons we think this is the case. First of all is financial. Moving this ride to 2023 means that the resort can basically have another huge project ready for next spring break and summer without having to start work on another project, and essentially it's going to keep the momentum of the 50th going beyond the 50th anniversary. And the second reason we are fairly certain this is going to happen is D23, the official Disney fan club, posted an article last month called Every Disney Moment We're Looking Forward to in 2022, and it's filled with lots of exciting things, but TRON was not there. Despite that, it's still an exciting project, so let's have a look at the progress on site. And in this first image we can see the ramp that will lead up to the ride entrance. That gap that you're seeing under the walkway is so that the Walt Disney World Railroad will be able to run underneath there. The actual track of the ride is complete and the trains are able to go round, and we know this because they did the pull-through testing back in September. The major work happening now isn't on the track, it's on the outside. It's the canopy, as we can see in these next images, and when complete the ride will look just like the one in Shanghai, which you can see in this video here from my visit a few years ago. This is a fantastic high-speed roller coaster, it's a lot of fun, it's miles more thrilling than any of the other rides at Magic Kingdom, so it'll be a great addition to the park. So if that's not opening in 2022, what is? First of all, we have Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. This is a hotel, but more of a cruise-like experience. You are on board a spaceship, you will have immersive Star Wars themed dining and meet characters. There are highly themed sets, and it's all a very exclusive Star Wars interactive experience. It's a 2-night immersive hotel. Guests will actually never see the hotel itself from the outside, as it will arrive and depart on shuttles, and we have a good look of what the hotel will actually look like here. It's very industrial, as you can see, but guests won't be seeing it. The arrival area by the car is down here, and the actual hotel building will be hidden behind the trees. This photo shows an image of what supposedly is the simulator vehicle, and this will be how you get from the hotel to Galaxy's Edge inside Disney's Hollywood Studios without you seeing the outside world. And so Disney isn't going to be using the regular buses to shuttle you around. Guests will board the vehicle in this fully enclosed and fully themed environment. Here's a close-up of that vehicle. So the guests board a shuttle, and that shuttle goes over to the theme park, and when they get to Galaxy's Edge, they'll exit out into this corridor here. And this is themed, as you can see, in a similar way to the marketplace of Galaxy's Edge, and then they'll head directly into the land, into Black Spire Outpost, and bypass the rest of Hollywood Studios. I'm sure we can expect a level of immersion similar to the Hogwarts Express at Universal Orlando, and just to give an idea of how long that journey is going to be, here's an image showing the distance between the hotel, which is the arrow on the left, and the theme park, which is the arrow on the right. Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser opens next month on the 1st of March. So what about new rides then at Walt Disney World? Epcot is coming to the rescue with Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. This is another roller coaster, and this one will rotate 360 degrees as you go around the track. Plus, it's going to have a backwards launch as well. I'm really looking forward to this one. We don't really have very long to wait. The attraction will be opening this summer, and Imagineer Wyatt Winter said recently in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that the thrill factor will be somewhere between Big Thunder Mountain and Rock and Roller Coaster. Externally, the building is pretty much done, and the latest update is just a couple of days ago we saw this new set piece, which is a spaceship, another spaceship added to the front. Internally, there's no real way for us to know what's happening, so we will have to wait and see in a few months' time. 2022 is a really big year, but the big season is this summer. And perhaps Disney's biggest launch isn't inside the theme parks, it is the new cruise ship coming to Disney Cruise Line, the Disney Wish. This will be Disney's 5th ship and it will sail its maiden voyage on June 9th this year. The ship will have 1,250 guest staterooms and it's filled with all kinds of unique experiences which just look amazing. For dining, you have Arendelle, a frozen dining experience, Avengers Quantum Encounter, which will have an interactive quantum core on every table, 1923, which is a premium dining experience, and then for entertainment, you're going to have the Aquamouse, which is the first ever Disney attraction at sea, Disney Uncharted Adventure, which is a smartphone interactive game all around the ship. The Little Mermaid will have a theatrical adaptation that's unique to the ship. And then you have the kids clubs. There's the Marvel Superhero Academy, Star Wars Cargo Bay, the one that I'm most jealous for, the Walt Disney Imagineering Lab, where you get to go behind the scenes and see how the magic is made. For adults experiences, there's the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge, there's the Quiet Cove Pool, there's Palo Steakhouse, and there's Keg and Compass Pub. Plus, of course, there'll be other bars, there's a spa as well. There's just too much to list here, but the ship looks incredible. I've never done a Disney cruise, but this really has made me want to do one. And if I'm going to do one, I probably want to do the Disney Wish, want to do the best one. So when travel opens back up, I am looking forward to booking this and trying it out. Shanghai Disneyland is also opening a new major attraction and land this year with Zootopia as it's celebrating its 5th anniversary. We don't have an exact date or season for this, but it will be this year in 2022. Disney's describing the new land as featuring a major attraction that will seamlessly blend Disney storytelling and state-of-the-art technology. There's of course going to be the ride as well as merchandise, the theming of the land, and food and beverage as well. Disney and Shanghai Disneyland are being very quiet. We haven't really seen too much from this ride, and we have had a few sneak peeks at some of the animatronics inside the ride, which is great as it shows us this isn't going to be purely a screen-based attraction. And so we have a look at the Yaks animatronic, and we also had a look at this polar bear animatronic as well. Otherwise, details are very limited. We have this concept art from a few years ago, and we know that the buildings are complete, at least externally. They were topped out back in 2020, and we have a little look at some of the construction progress here, so we can see that quite a bit of the external theming is now in place, but we don't really have an idea of what's happening inside the buildings. And I'm excited to go back and ride this at some point. Now, Hong Kong Disneyland doesn't want to be left out in 2022. It too is getting its own new land with a couple of rides, and this one's more progressed than Zootopia, so we do expect to see Arendelle World Frozen open by this summer. However, there is no official opening date at the moment. In this new land, we will have a new boat ride, which is a clone of Frozen Ever After at Epcot, and the other major attraction will be Wandering Oaken's Sliding Sleighs, which will be a family roller coaster very similar to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, plus of course the obligatory shopping and restaurants in a beautifully themed area. Construction wise, the North Mountain concrete structure is substantially complete, as we can see here. We also have the theming on the buildings, and they're starting to paint the rock work, and I just love the way that it blends in with the real Hong Kong mountains there in the background. Over at Disneyland Paris, or Walt Disney Studios Park, Avengers Campus is getting ready to open this summer. I've done whole videos going into detail on this land, which I will link at the end, but what you need to know as a quick summary here is that the backlot area of the park that used to house Armageddon and Rock and Roller Coaster has pretty much been torn to the ground. In its place, we're getting Avengers Campus. This will have a Marvel meet and greet, dining locations, shopping, and 2 rides. A Spider-Man Web Slingers interactive shooting ride, which is a clone of the one that opened in California last year, and an Iron Man roller coaster, which is a re-theme of Rock and Roller Coaster. Despite the fact I made a video on this just last week, progress is good. We've had the Quinjet arrive in the last few days, so that's been added as theming. Lots more theming on the Spider-Man Web Slingers building here on the facade. And speaking of facades, the lights on the new facade of the Iron Man roller coaster have been in testing this week as well. Disneyland Resort in California isn't getting any new attractions in 2022. They've just had Avengers Campus open a few months ago, but work is progressing on a new version of Mickey's Toontown. There will of course be a brand new ride here, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, arriving next year. The building for the new attraction has been complete for about 7 or 8 months now, as we can see here, but the latest piece of news that we heard last month is rumours from DSNY Newscast that perhaps this isn't going to be 100% a clone of the ride at Hollywood Studios. This is based on the fact that there's a permit which says that there are 16 scenes, and that's 3 more scenes than there are in the Walt Disney World version of the ride. We will see if this materializes or not, as this is a purpose-built building unlike the Walt Disney World version, so it is possible that they will add some new scenes here. Let's find out next year. And finally, at Tokyo Disney Resort, which I just can't say enough good things about, we have the Toy Story Hotel, which has looked complete every single time I look at it, but it's still not open, so hopefully that will open this year. We can see some pictures of the latest progress here. Plus, much more importantly, opening next year is FantaSEA Springs, which really is almost like a whole mini theme park in itself. It will have new rides and areas dedicated to Peter Pan, Tangled and Frozen. All the rides and theming in the areas will be unique to this park. Plus, there's going to be a new luxury hotel opening its doors as well next year. Everything is very much in mid-construction, lots of scaffolding up, as we can see from the hotel photos here, and even the photo here of the land where the mesh for the mountains is up, but the concrete and the theming is still quite a while off. This is by far the project I'm most excited about in what is such an incredibly unique theme park. I made a video a while back, which is the longest video on this channel. It's 40 minutes, and I talk about and rank every single Disney theme park, all 12 of them around the world. I've visited all of them, so if you're interested in knowing more about this, that video will pop up in a few seconds as a recommendation. Please leave a like to support the channel and subscribe to keep up to date with all these projects happening at the Disney, Universal and other theme parks, and let me know in the comments which of these Disney projects you're most excited for. Check out my theme park guidebooks at independentguidebooks.com. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Gio for Independent Guides, and I'll see you in the next video.